tracks too. That's all great too, and that's also art of itself. But there's nothing like that vibe where like everyone doesn't really know what's going to happen, and for me, that's very exciting.
Absolutely. Besides vocals, do you play any other instruments?
Yeah, I do actually. I play a little piano. I play guitar. It's very minimal, but I use it as a tool for songwriting. I'm getting to a point where I'm practicing more, and I might eventually play with like a guitar live. I'm really in the groundwork for all of that, though. I've always just used it as a tool and played by ear, but I'm really trying to get to the technical. This is an E on the guitar. Okay, that's what I was playing this entire time, and I didn't know.
Right.
So, kind of thing. Because I don't just want to go up on stage and play 3 chords and be like, I can play guitar, and I want to really be able to be like, hey, this is what I play. Like, I can play and I can hold my own on a set. But I feel, for me, right now, when I'm not at home and I'm not messing around with the major 9s and the major 7s on the piano, for me to get to my song ideas, what I really focus on is just the live element of performing. Not hiding behind an instrument. Not that there's people who do that, but I mean, like, I'm not afraid to use my body or be barefoot on the stage and walk around and connect with people. I really focus on that element.
Absolutely. I'm actually playing the piano. I learned that I played the piano when I was 9, and the flute. I don't play the flute anymore, but I use.
I play the flute too.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's the first instrument I actually learned how to play, and then I moved to the piano. And it works well for me now with me moving into production and stuff like that. It helps me come up with like good melodies and stuff like that. So I definitely appreciate live instrumentation as well as of course vocalists.
Yeah, there's nothing like 88 keys on an upright piano or a grand. Running your hands up and down. Even playing the scales, you can play the scales and just get lost in that and come up with an idea for doing that.
Oh, for sure.
That's really very beautiful, I mean, I feel like that's cool, that you also play instruments as well. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm actually looking to learn how to play the guitar and the saxophone. I've always been in love with the saxophone. Louis Armstrong is one of my favorite artists or whatever, and I love the fact that he did play the saxophone. So
the trumpet. Louis Armstrong played the trumpet.
No, he played the saxophone too.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Not bad.
It's all good. A lot of people don't know that, but the trumpet is what he's known for. But he did play the saxophone as well.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Okay. I don't know if you know Dexter Gordon, but there's a really great movie called Around Midnight with Dexter Gordon, and Herbie Hancock did the soundtrack for it, and that's a really beautiful record. And actually, side note, Dexter Gordon was the only jazz musician nominated for an Oscar for his portrayal of like a Lester Young, Mick Coleman Hawkins type character. And it was also the last soundtrack that Chet Baker performed on before he died mysteriously in Paris. So that's a really cool soundtrack. If you love sax, you gotta check that out. Okay,
yeah, I definitely have to check it out. I haven't heard it, but I do actually I'm a big fan of Herbie Hancock as well. So I definitely will check that out. On your YouTube channel, I saw some of your covers that you did of Aaliyah and then No Doubt, and then even Foster the People. Can you tell us about some of your influences? I know you have a background in jazz, but who's some of the artists that you really love, like growing up or even now?
Sure. You mentioned Aaliyah. I was really devastated when Aaliyah passed away because I really looked up to her. Her, TLC. I was really vibing, though, to Aaliyah in Chicago on WGCI. On the radio, she would be the artist that wouldn't just show up on one radio. She'd show up on, like, Light FM. She'd show up on, like, all the radio stations. And I just loved her sweet tone. And I really looked at her because, for me, I felt that I could really hear that she wasn't forcing anything. Everything that came out of her, to me, was very honest and pure. And it's funny because I was still working in a restaurant. I was in my high school job, I think. It was my very first job, and I remember when she passed away, I was training a girl to be a hostess who looked just like Aaliyah, and I'll never forget it. I remember we were looking up at the TV at the job, and I was like, I can't believe it. Like, I thought it was, I'd hoped that it was, miscommunication or something, and I just felt that she was gone too soon, so music still. I put her in a category of like a Sade. She had her own style. She wasn't trying to sound anyway but like herself. You know, you could really hear that. I like TLC. I like Missy Elliott for contemporary. For jazz, I love Carmen McRae, Abby Lincoln, Oscar Brown Jr., Kurt Elling. I also love new artists like Gretchen Parlato and Gregory Porter, who's also in New York. He's not from New York, but he spent a lot of time in Harlem really cultivating his sound. We love Gregory Porter. There's a singer named Jessica Betts who actually won the Missy Road to Stardom that I actually had an opportunity to work with. I love her voice. She's from Chicago. And, you know, no doubt, Gwen Stefani, I think, is underrated. People really hear her and they're like, oh, okay, pop, this, that, or the other. I don't think she gets as much respect as, you know, she's due. Like, she's a strong woman performer who's been doing this since she's been 16. She used to make her own costumes. She's just really cool, man, a real trendsetter, a real artist. When you hear her speak or look into her interviews, she has a lot of knowledge to throw forth for artists, you know, and I just dig her. I dig her sound. I love 07. A lot of the music coming out of South Africa, Black Coffee, Boosie. I love Andy Compton, Ralph Gum. I listen to a lot of European type music. And right now, one of my big influences, I listen to Quadrant, who's a singer. Her name is Coco, and a producer by the name of Robin Hannibal. Like, I'm really digging that, and I love her sweet tone, too. Like, I put her in an Aaliyah type vein. And for more popular right now, I guess Estelle. But really, I vibe to what I'm around and what I really like to listen to, and I love, like, flamenco, ambient music. I'm like a mess of a whole bunch of different stuff, you know, but I guess some of my main influences growing up were really Billie Holiday, Carmen McRae, and then contemporary was like Aaliyah, you know, as far as who I was really listening to.
Absolutely.
Billie Holiday's a big one, though. Like, I'm not to go back to jazz, but, I mean, I fell asleep to her records on repeat, like, literally, like, 365 nights a week, to the point where my grandma would be like, yo, turn off the music now, I'm gonna go to bed, you know?
Right. I actually haven't, that's an artist that I'm not really familiar with. My mom listened to Billie Holiday when I was younger, but I was a super little kid, but I have to go back and discover some of her music for my education personally, as far as music is concerned, so I definitely have to check her out. I haven't.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm sorry, I just remembered, like, Little Dragon and Kissy Asplin. Sweden has it going on right now. Like, I really love what Sweden is about. Like, if I could go anywhere, literally, like, tomorrow, someone was like, yo, you can have a ticket to anywhere, I'd be like, yo, I'm going to Sweden. I'm going to Sweden. I'm going to find those producers, man, because, like, they're, like, recording with analog. They're doing a whole bunch of, like, really cool stuff. People still purchase wax out there. You know, like, you'll end up on a vinyl. Like, you know, I'm all about that, you know, kind of music. Like, I want to be spun by a DJ. Like, I don't want to be on Serato. I want to be, like, on a record, you know.
Right, absolutely. I mean, I think listening to music, especially on vinyl, is a different experience than listening to it on, like, an MP3. You know, if the people that don't know anything about music, analog recordings is a better translation of the actual sound recording. So it actually sounds a whole lot better. But I'm a vinyl collector, and I actually have a record player, so I do understand that the whole experience is definitely it's different than, like I said, an MP3. It's kind of like old school, not old school, but like listening to CDs and stuff, like, you know, looking at the liner notes and stuff, you know, taking it out the whole package, and it's a totally different experience as far as listening to music. So
yeah,
I definitely I understand.
Totally. I mean, it's the difference between Instagram on your digital phone and old school film photographer that bleaches to lighten or darken the film. You know, it's a whole different experience. But like I said, I admire everything, but in an ideal world situation, I'd have an analog album strictly recorded that presses to vinyl, and it would be that exclusive. Like, I want people like Slug to spin it. You know, that would be my ideal recording session for me personally, you know.
Okay.
But yeah.
I got a couple. I got a couple questions for some people off of Twitter. At Chicago Lies, he wants to know if you date black guys.
Interesting. I mean, yeah. I'm currently. I don't like to. For me personally, I have people. I grew up on the south side of Chicago where I was literally the minority, but I also had my father's at a Greek restaurant. So for me, color's always been, which is weird because I was raised in the most segregated city in America, you know. But for me, color was never, I'm colorblind, and currently the person who I'm seeing is black, but I guess by society's terms they're black, but they're just a really cool person.
Right.
But I think outside the box there. I don't like to be like, oh, he's black, he's white, he's Asian, he's purple, he's green. It's like, you are who you are, and if you're cool, like, I'm attracted to people who are interesting, whether they be whatever they are, you know, and for me, that comes first. Are you interesting, and are you a good person? You know, that's what I look for. That's sexy to me, you know.
And that's the way that it should be. I'm married, but I'm the same way as far as like people are concerned. People that I kick it with are friends that I become friends with. I like people that are cool, not necessarily like, oh, I don't count like, oh man, I have 4 white friends or 4 Greek friends or 4,
Yeah, that's an old way of thinking. It's 2012, man. We gotta elevate the consciousness. You know, we have to really elevate. But yeah, no disrespect to the person who asked the question. Yes, I guess to answer that, yes, I date all people who are cool.
Okay, cool. Let's see, who's this? Chicago 69. I know you're talking about your album. They wanted to know when will you be releasing a album?
Actually, that's a really good question. I'm going up to LA next month. I have 2 shows coming up in LA, and I'm going to be working in the studio full time because it's for a publishing company who's trying to place on TV and film. And then from there, I'm trying to decide how I'm going to release it. So I say probably look out for that in the next 2 months. And it's going to be a chill out album, and I'm really excited about it. Really very excited about it.
I'm looking forward to hearing it then. For sure. Ooh. And I'm sure Chicago 69 is looking forward to it too.
Oh, Tom, thank you, Chicago.
All right. I'm a little bit sad because I'm from Long Beach, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be able to see a show because I currently live in San Antonio. But
okay, cool.
Yeah, too bad I won't be in LA to catch a show. But
yeah, man, it's gonna be at King for anyone who's listening. It'll be at King on the 10th and 11th. I'll be singing as part of the floor show, working with some dancers. It's very exciting. I'm really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I feel like I could probably like vibe with you, talk with you forever. But I appreciate you calling in. For those who are just tuning in right now, I'm here live with Eliki. This is Boy Radio Imperial Carter. And if you just give people, your website and your contact info as far as like Twitter or maybe like any other social networks that you're actively on, so that people.
Oh man, I'm all over social networking, all over it. So follow me, tweet me, Instagram me. My website is www.elikimusic. That's ELIKI music music.com. Twitter, I was the first Eliki, so it's @Eliki. And I have an official Eliki Facebook. I also have Instagram, Eliki Music, as well. So hashtag me, @me, YouTube, Eliki Music. I have my own channel, and I also have direct links to buy my singles. I've been doing a lot of singles, so check out my YouTube for that information as well. I'm on Reverb Nation. I need friends and likes and all that. So follow me, like me, do all of that stuff, and I follow back. So hit me up.
Right, and she interacts with the fans. She's hit me up with a couple of tweets as well. So definitely check her out. She's a dope artist, a dope vocalist. You're missing out if you're not tuning into Eliki. Her album's coming out in a couple of months, so make sure you go get that. And once again, we're happy to have you. Oh, I'm sorry. One last question, love. I saw on YouTube you doing a freestyle with this I think it was Leah Bout. That's a girl from New York.
Yeah, Leah Bout. That's my girl. She's an amazing MC, female singer-songwriter. I love her. If she's listening, man, I love you, Leah. You rock.
Okay. I was just had a question. I'm like, are you making music with her, or is it that was just like a little freestyle session that you guys were doing?
Man, I've known Leah's been a mentor to me since I lived in Chicago. When I was like 16, I met her. And yeah, man, she produces. She's a female producer, MC. I've done a few things with her, but we really have yet to do something solid and release it. But yeah, it's